but it's Bill Newton. What'd you expect? But overall, it was a fun weekend up at HarmonyCon. Sad it didn't go longer than it should. It really should have. But I remember an instance at one point that weekend. I'm trying to remember here. The con chair, who was Starstorm at the time, was not present for opening ceremonies that day. You see, he actually literally like the day of day one of the con, he got kidney stones.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Charlie, who was like the co-captain of the con, basically had to do opening ceremonies, and literally right as opening ceremonies have started, Starstorm comes running in, still in a hospital gown. Runs in with a hospital gown, and the sheer horror of everybody's faces. Like, I just got my kidney stones removed, so okay, I'm here.
Oh Lord.
Ready to party.
Like, we're all just standing there amazed and just like, okay, this is the tone that's going to be set for the weekend. Is I just had to pass kidney stones, and I just barely made it to opening ceremonies. So
wonderful.
We're off to a great, fantastic
Wonderful.
start.
It should not remind me of this. That birthday con of mine at MLP MSP. So I turned 26 years old then, which if that's any kind of indicator to you, that's whenever you are no longer allowed to stay on your parents' health care.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had lost, so once the clock struck midnight on Saturday, I was no longer insured, and I handled it in the best way possible. As soon as the clock struck midnight, instead of saying, oh hey, it's my birthday, in the middle of the concert, I just ran around shouting, I have no more health insurance! No health insurance! No health insurance! And then people, that was my opener. That was my opener. And whenever I had to concern people, it was like, oh, it's my birthday. Yeah, priorities. Actually, you know what? I have a question for you.
Oh no.
I have a question for you as a jumping off point. So, you've done a lot. You've done a lot of panels now.
Yes.
You've gotten plenty under your belt.
This is now my 34th panel I've done in the span of 2 years.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I completely believe it.
Because I have no life and I'm this insane these days.
Well, no, the thing is if you submit 2 panels, you're going to do 9.
Yeah.
That's how this community works, is with your friends and everything, you submit 2, you will do 4 times that.
I blame Thoth for that one. He's the one who's a bad influence on me, because that's how it kind of got started, was that I got to know Thoth a little bit, and he said, yeah, I'm on like, I don't know, for TrotCon, I was on like 14, 15, 17 panels.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, how are you still alive, Thoth? And he said, yes, I am.
I can vouch for that. TrotCon last year, they brought me. I was a community guest and a musician, so I did.
And you were just going to be a musician that weekend.
No, I was originally going to be just a community guest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
Yeah, the musician thing just kind of happened last second. So I ended up doing about 13 panels and 3 music sets. So TrotCon was on a mission to kill me. I will let them do it again. No, it was great. I loved it. It was actually something I got to cross off of my bucket list while I was there. If you know my music, if you don't, that's totally fine. But like my favorite song that I do is a song called "We Were Here," which is all about celebrating the times we've had at conventions. And I wrote that and released it back in 2020. All my personal sets, I always end them with "We Were Here," just because it's a great emotional send-off. But I always wanted to play it at closing ceremonies of a convention, and TrotCon was super cool enough to let me do that, and it was every bit as satisfying as I can say. It was awesome. But my original question for you was, because this started off as just, you've done panels, right?
Yes.
So, out of all the panels you've done and everything, what is your favorite heckle that you have ever gotten?
Well, let's see here.
Heckle?
Heckle, yeah, like just like someone in the crowd trying to just give you crap.
Which one? That's my question.
Like which panel?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just the
so-
most memorable like audience chirp that someone would, if they were trying to start something or whatever, or in good fun, preferably that.
Red card. I'm not sorry here.
Oh, God.
So, I think it was honestly the Jackbox panel from this weekend.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
Oh my God! So, for those of you who were not at my Jackbox panel on Friday night, I have a friend named Joe Scout, and who's a great guy, by the way. But you know, I feel like he is gonna torment me in Red Card to no end going forward because you know. I think I destroy more people's insanity and minds whenever I do like Jackbox or Pony Life is Magic nowadays because I apparently break people during Pony Life now because at one point we were reacting to a scene and Joe immediately gets up from his chair and is just he's hating life at this point because I think it was when we were getting up and dancing and whatnot. I have the video in here I'll show in just a second.
So stupid.
And you know, he goes over the corner, he's yelling down the hallway, he's like, "There is no God!" And he just goes over the corner and he's just pounding his head on the wall, and I'm sitting there going the entire time, I've unlocked another cheat that someone actually lost their mind during Pony Life is Magic, and he's never gonna let me hear the end of it.
Do you still have the picture of him just staring right at the wall, like he's in solitary confinement or something?
I got that.
You do?
Yeah,
Good.
So let me pull it up here. So
Again, next time I do this is entirely on me. This is my bad. I really need to start doing this. Next time I do this panel, I'm gonna have like a projector so we can show videos, and I'll just make like a lame iMovie slideshow.
Can you not use that one right over there? Or?
I don't have anything to plug it with. It's just my phone.
Ah.
Yep. Oh, that's a good angle too.
God.
it's just pretty much I question most of my life nowadays, but
Same.
another thing. Actually, another story that comes to mind actually happened at Everfree last year was that was the official debut of the Glimmergate Unleashed panel, and
Oh, no.
that's where I had Luck Rock and Nighty on board. And now to give a little bit of context here, Kelly Sheraton was in attendance that weekend, and Scott or Thornring that he goes by informed me on Thursday. So you excited to run the Glimmer panel on Sunday? And I said, yeah, of course, I'm excited about it. I got all the cool people. Well, did I tell you Kelly Sheridan's going to be there too?
Nani?
Wait, what? Yeah, Kelly asked me if she could be on that panel with you, and
You finally made it.
But my soul was leaving my body at that exact moment. Like, oh my God, a guest of honor is going to be on my panel. It's crazy. So in the middle of the panel, her handler comes walking in. Alex informs me that she's at the door. So I'm going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Kelly just happened to pop by and then she just came walking through the door and everybody is just turned around in excitement like, oh my God, Starlight Glimmer's actually in appearance here this weekend. So she had to stay for like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, but she took a few moments to appreciate what I was doing, and then she proceeded to give me a gift.
I know. Yeah, I know this.
So, my friend Sky Railroad, which you all should go check out at Vendor Hall, by the way, gave me a gift, and it was the most. I'm gonna say it's the most wonderful talking piece anybody could have in their lovely bathroom.
You put it in your bathroom now?
No, actually, it's in my office.
That's even better. That's
So
what's the difference?
So she gave me a toilet paper cover of Starlight Glimmer with actual toilet paper in it. So I was like, I have come to greatness that our Lord and Savior is now a toilet paper roll.
Lord and Savior.
It looks like a Pop-Tart.
It looks like a cinnamon bun.
Yeah, like a cinnamon bun that should never ever be that color.
Right.
Yeah, no, it does. Okay, so
What face was on the cover, Taylor?
I see.
I see.
that's right. The image I had in my head, I thought it was just a pair of eyes. I forgot it was like the I see. So that honestly that makes
I see.
it
I
better.
see.
Yes. So I'm gonna be something that happened at that same Everfree. I'm gonna be a little careful with telling this story just because like it should be fine. It should be fine just because
We're adults here. Come on.
it has to do with edibles,
Oh no.
which is a great start. Just a great one-sentence story. I got so high I stole a concierge cell phone.
What?
I will.
Do you want me to edit that part out?
I will. I don't care. I will explain. It's fine. Also, the concierge in question was Pepper. Okay, so.
Oh, if it was Sybil, you would have been frickin'.
Oh, you've been
No,
screwed if it
okay,
was Sybil.
so let me go ahead and say accidentally. So, it was. It was. So, no, let me explain. So normally, that's not, I don't normally do that. I have nothing against it. It's just, it's not, like doing edibles and whatnot is not normally my thing. I've only done it twice in my entire life. And prior to this, the last time I did it was in 2016, which was an absolutely terrible experience, which was the worst Thanksgiving trip my family has ever been on.
Oh no.
That's a whole other story. I'd have to keep you here for the entire time for that. I'm not gonna do that. But the second time, with that, even 6 years later, with that experience still kind of fresh in my mind, I was like, I don't know if I should do this again. It didn't go well last time. But I figured, well, it's legal here, whatever. I'll give it sure, let's see if it's anywhere near as bad as last time. I took 3/4 of a gummy.
Oh,
3/4, and it was pretty bad. I was immediately in like massive giggle fits, and I cannot hide it whatsoever. I was so like you remember at Everfree. This was Sunday night, so when all like the parties are going on and whatnot. And if you saw me walking through the halls, I couldn't walk with normal posture. I had to walk like this, like my.
He had the drunk lane.
Yeah, drunk lean, let's go with that. Like, it just felt like my left shoulder was getting pulled down. I think I even went in a circle at one point. I can't confirm that part, but like, I was going through, I was just, hopping through the various parties and whatnot. I stopped at the Babscon once, said hi to people, or hi, I guess. It was really, really hitting me at this point. And I'm trying to hide it, which I can't, and my efforts to hide it, because they're so poor, it makes me laugh more that it's going so poorly. So like that just kind of feeds into itself in this loop of just getting worse and worse with more and more giggling. And everyone is staring at me like, oh my god, he's high. Why? Because like, I'm pretty sure they're like, he never gets high. Why now? Which is true. That is a fair criticism. And I remember, those tables that were just like in the little foyer outside.
Yeah.
We had Pepper and like a bunch of our other friends just kind of sitting there. There's no room. There's no more empty seats. So I'm just kind of standing. I'm just kind of standing against the wall, watching them, still laughing. Pepper is just talking to people, and he's wearing just like basketball shorts or anything, so kind of loose pockets. his phone slides out and just falls on the ground. He clearly doesn't know that happens. And I'm just staring at the phone intently for like a solid 7 seconds before I do anything. Just a blank stare. And I get this brilliant, hilarious idea to be like, okay, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna take his phone, I'm gonna give it back to him as a prank. It's gonna be hilarious. So I go up, like, if you've ever seen someone high try to sneak up on something, it's pretty embarrassing. Like I managed to get the phone and put it in my back pocket, and I was like, okay, so this is gonna be really fun. Until I decided to wander off and go to another party.
Oh no.
45 minutes later, as I am still in the party, completely forgetting that I had just taken another man's phone. I am just talking to some friends, hanging out in the party, and very much still giggling and laughing and everything, until just out of nowhere, it hits me like a freight train. And in the middle of this party, I just go, Pepper! And I just run back out. They're still there, thankfully. They're still there. And I think they had realized what I did like 30 minutes ago. And they're just like, he'll come back. He'll come back, he'll bring it, it's whatever. So
He acts as if it's normal for that to happen.
no, it's just expected. So I come back, kind of like, unfortunately, still giggling, and I go to Pepper, his phone in my hand, like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Here's your phone. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
And just the calm tsunami of disappointment, then low expectations that just washes over the entire table. So that's that story. See, context is important.
Hey Taylor.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them about the pony life is magic panel from Everfree with Nighty?
Do you want me to live that disaster story?
That's the point of this panel.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay,
Do
so
it.
Pony Life is Magic, going back to this, because I mentioned this a lot lately. Y'all should come to that next time.
It's a thing. Last night was my first one. It's fun. See, I like Pony Life. I actually like it. So it's great for me watching everyone else like just go out of their way to talk about how much they hate it.
Blasphemy.
I mean, like, Bobby was just going nuts last night over it, and then Joey's just in the corner just like...
What is my life?
So, going back to our debut panel at Everfree Northwest last year, so I had Red Card Nighty, who came all the way from Singapore, just because he doesn't get to attend a lot of the state cons these days. Mm-hmm. And then I had Bolt and Looney on board for that very first panel. And so, as we're going through it, because Nighty is very big into aviation and
Transportation
and planes, trains, and automobiles and such. And so then comes the scene that Applejack lost her hat. That Rarity is now making into a trend fashion in New Equestria. So throughout the whole sequences, Applejack is trying on various different hats to see which one would fit her better. And then there's a scene that she's in a plane, and Nighty is losing his frickin' marbles.
I know this episode. I actually know this one.
And Nighty is just like pounding away, like, no, that is not how you're supposed to fly the plane. What the heck is going on here? That is not the way you fly a plane. And he's just losing it the entire time. He is just losing it the entire time, and we are cracking. This is on video because Red records a lot of our panels, and I replay that scene every time. I just need a pick me up, and Nighty, God bless you, because you made that panel, made the panel debut so entertaining, because that was just a spur of the moment. I wasn't like sure he was going to do that, and just losing his marbles over Applejack flying a plane, and now he's trying to correct it the entire time. Also, hi, other
Yes,
me.
Doc, welcome. Here's our other guest panelist. Hi. This is our good friend Thoth Penswell, who we mentioned
I
earlier.
thought.
He's got some stories too.
This microphone's not on.
Get over here.
Okay, I'll just project.
No, we're gonna share these.
Also,
Okay.
also nice from Jakarta in Indonesia, actually.
Right. Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
What's up?
It's Southeast Asia. Let's just call it that.
Yes, everyone, welcome Thoth Penswell.
Oh, thank you. I was busy helping draw ponies in the main hall. It was pretty great. Should I just introduce myself?
Yes, Thoth, introduce
Okay, I'm
yourself.
sorry I've derailed the entire panel. It's really difficult being on 14 panels in one weekend and not having them overlap a little bit.
What's
I know
that
the
like?
feel.
Now you know how we feel.
Well, I'm Thoth Penswell. I'm one half Riff Ponies, one half TrotCon social media.
Anyway, come to
Why did I
TrotCon.
get a laugh now? I mean, I know it's a laughing role, but no, yeah.
It's a script!
It's just script.
It's a script!
So yeah, that's me. I'm also on 14 panels this weekend, slightly down from TrotCon last year of 17. I am dead tired, but I'm excited to be here with some friends talking about some of the stuff we do at conventions, or at least how much we can talk about.
By the way, real quick, I should have said something about this earlier. If anyone has like questions, let us know. Because those are always some good jumping off points as well. But yes, do you have an opener for yourself?
Yeah, right. I can tell you one that happened just now where.
Uh-oh.
Fresh.
So you're right. So
Deep fried
I was
and
helping.
fresh.
So I was helping run OCs from a hat with Luck Rock in there with the guest of honor. And I think the moment that I know that everything has gone some sort of direction is when I walk in, and then the guests of honor walk in, and one of the people running the panel goes, "Oh, you'll be working with them for this panel." Bill Newton and all of them turn around, and immediately I get from Bill Newton, "Uh-oh, this guy." That's how I know. I don't know if I've gone right or wrong, but I've gone somewhere.
It's like that meme of the people smiling at the bar, like, here comes trouble.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
just let anybody in here.
Exactly. But yeah, that's a fresh one right there if you want one. It's been a really good weekend, though.
Oh, it's been great.
It's been so many memories that I'll have to recap in a 20-30 Twitter thread, because that's what we do every time. That's what we all do every time we get home from a convention. So yeah, it's been a fun weekend. I'd like to hear some of your stories, or if anyone has questions for it, and I'll respond best I can. Believe me, I'm very tired. I'm operating on 4 hours of sleep because we all watched Cats 2019 last night after Drink Ponies. It was a fun time. No, it was good.
Of all the movies I've ever seen, that's definitely one of them. This weekend is a first for me. In all the years I've been doing this, I've never had to cancel a panel due to safety concerns because we have so many people now.
That's right.
Yeah. So a lot of times I do the March for Equality here. It's always been a fun time, but like at the old HarmonyCon venue, if you were there, it's like the second floor is like a U shape. It's just a very easy path to go through. We have a lot more people here this year, and first off, there were just scheduling confusions with it. Anyways, what was supposed to happen? We were supposed to meet in the Whiskey Tango, but I'm just like, I don't feel safe doing this because at that one. At like one of the previous ones when we had it when we did it at Nightmare Nights at the old venue, that was the year I had to lead a crowd of people, like a crowd of 30 plus people down a flight of stairs and then back up it and just hope with everything that no one like trips on a shoelace or anything.
Right.
So if you wanted to do the march this year, I'm sorry we weren't able to pull it off this time. I will try and do something in its stead, but like that's a good problem to have in a way, so to speak.
No, I was going to say, see, that wouldn't happen with me. Where the Riff Ponies panel is too many people for the panel. Nah, just sit in the aisles, sitting room only. Let's do it. But you know, yeah, I don't think I've ever run into something like that. Hey, yeah, that's it's
Like, it's a bummer. I wanted, like...
right, of course, exactly. Unfortunately, there's just too many bronies this weekend. Too many bronies. I was going to say, I would be, if I were just a regular hotel attendee, which there are, I've seen them, I would be very scared if I saw an entire wall of people coming toward me in this hotel.
And me just screaming out loud, "Hands high, ponies!"
Exactly. It sounds like a Glimmer Gang panel.
Okay. So this is a fun question. I'm not specific, especially this weekend, but it doesn't have to be just this week. It's just any con you've been to. It's a show of hands. Who has had the elevator talk with the normies? I like how I don't have to explain that, and you already know what I'm talking about. When you have the person, preferably if they are over the age of 60, who asks you, "What is all this?" And you get to have that fun talk with them about, "Oh, it's a My Little Pony convention." I had someone last night. I was going up in the elevator. Someone who was clearly not from here. Again, probably 60 plus years old or something.
Most likely.
You know that Rainbow Dash pencil box I have,
yeah,
where I keep the index cards for Pony the Interruption. I was taking that back up to my room, and this person who is like the most normal dressed person I have seen all weekend, they even got like a business earpiece in their ear, and they're looking at me. They see the box and they're like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, this is HarmonyCon. It's a My Little Pony convention." And they're like, "My Little Pony convention?" Yes, sir. It's a My Little Pony convention. So we said My Little Pony convention 3 times, and he looks at my box again. He's like, "So it's like Pokemon, right?"
No.
No, it's not Pokemon, Bob.
I was going to chime in, and I'll try to tell as much of the story as I can that is appropriate for daytime hours.
Oh no.
I just told the story about how I got high.
Right, exactly. So, I missed that. So at Ponyville Cider Fest 2018, I believe the first one.
Such a good year.
It was a really good year. It was the first cider fest we'd ever been to, and it was also the first year that they did a late night vendor hall, we'll say. Right. So there was a long line.
Oh, no.
Christian Minecraft server.
The Christian Minecraft server, exactly. Or as Kevin Trotcon once called it, the super cool nighttime vendor hall. So, rest in peace, Kevin. So we were waiting in line, and these 2 people who I think were from like a Fleetwood Mac concert. Yeah.
I thought Tool was in town.
I don't know. It may be. But these 2 people who looked, they had age-appropriate drinks in them, I could tell. And they look at all this line of colorful people, and they look to us, me, Essential, and a couple of other people were there, and they're like, "Hey, what are all you guys waiting in line for?" And we all silently look at each other, and we're like, a panel. It's a panel. It's an event.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Right.
"Oh, what's the panel for?" And we all look at each other again, and we're like, "Oh, well, they're showing art." And then they go,
What kind of art?
Art.
It's art.
Stop asking questions.
Right. But there's
You don't know me.
There's this silent communication between everyone. Everyone had the same thought in mind, like, "No, this is what we have to do." It was a coordinated effort.
We have to commit.
With not a single word said between us. And then like 2 minutes later, I saw Daniel Ingram walk by, horrified. I don't know what he saw. Right, I don't know what he saw. But those 2 people, I'll never forget them. It was just a moment where it was like a SWAT team between us, where it was just silent communication. We knew what we had to do. I don't know if they waited in line with everyone else. Hopefully not, but at least they didn't know what was in the room.
Well, they could.
That's true.
They don't have a badge.
That's true. They could show.
They don't have a badge.
They could show their Fleetwood Mac tickets. That's worth something, right? That's worth something, Dewey.
If I was Charlie, I would be so fascinated. If I was Charlie, I would be so fascinated by trying to get your way in with just, "Hey, we went to Fleetwood Mac." He's like, "This is so dumb. Go ahead."
Right.
So So another, also, did you have one, or?
I've had one lined up for a while.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, Everfree 2019. It was my very first time attending Everfree, and I was just still kind of living the high of.
Wow, way to. Is that? Did you?
Choice of words.
Sorry.
Stay off the damn weed.
So, on the topic of dealing with normies, normal people that are not a part of our community. So me and three cosplay friends, Maddie, Shelby, and Sarah, who attended PonyCons for a while. They just wrapped up doing one of their cosplay plans, and we were on our way back to the elevators. So this old lady comes walking in and joins us in the elevator, and it takes a long time because the elevators were slow as crap that weekend. And like it's taken an eternity to get to our floor, and she's asking us questions of what is all this weekend, and we are telling her that it's a My Little Pony convention, and she's like, what is that? And it's like, well, it's based on a toy line that Hasbro came up with, and she's like, okay, that's, oh my god, that sounds really cool. Like she's getting so excited, like she sees the cosplayers in their splendor, and me and just this, my only glimmer shirt at the time before I invested into this. But
Really wish you would have met you like this.
and so she's like, can I get a photo of you guys? And she's like, yeah, sure, because she was implementing the Maddie, Selby, and Sarah. So I was standing aside at the moment, but she's like, all right, everybody smile. And Maddie literally drags my arm and pulls me in like, okay, I'm not a cosplayer here. What are you doing? You're part of this community, Taylor. Shut up. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just getting yanked around all weekend. Okay, cool, fantastic.
Bye, Maddie.
And it was just a spontaneous thing. Like she literally, I was standing up to the side, and maybe where Thoth is sitting, that's where Maddie was. So it was like she had big arms and like literally could reach from across the room, literally.
A wingspan.
Yeah, a wingspan. And I'm standing there, and she literally, as the lady saying smile, she yanks me aside, like, and I'm not sure if she got the picture correctly. It's just me probably going. And that's probably how I was introduced into the fandom. That's how high. I don't know.
So because you high, goodbye.
If it makes you feel any better, Taylor, my introduction to this convention was taking my pants off on the main stage.
Oh yeah, tell that story.
Oh, speaking of which, today is now 3 years it's been since that happened.
Is it actually the 3-year anniversary of that?
Let me fact check that for you. Keep
Okay.
going. Keep talking.
You go ahead, Taylor.
But, if you now want to know how the Glimmer game was created, thank that guy over there in the corner. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you like maybe 3 to 4 seconds from being tackled by con security for showing off?
Showing off the goods. Yeah. No. Yeah. I could detail that a little bit more. I've told this story hundreds of times. Nami made fun of me endlessly for it when I told him about that. So I decided that when it was our first HarmonyCon 2020, and I was like, oh well, I want to do a thing with Starlight Glimmer because Starlight Glimmer is great. Don't argue with me; it's true. You'll see a panel run by Taylor in a little bit about that. But I decided, okay, I have to do something really funny because it's our first HarmonyCon. It's the first time we've ever been guests there. So I decided I'm gonna buy these tights from Redbubble with Glimmer on them. I'm not gonna tell anybody that I'm doing this. I didn't even tell my my Rift Ponies partner in Essential. Didn't even tell them.
You got them from Redbubble?
I got them from Redbubble.
Okay.
That's high quality material, But I put them on under my jeans for that day. I go down. I'm not telling anybody.
That was smart.
So, no, yeah, exactly. So we go out there, we get introduced. It's our first time. We throw kazoos out there because that's our thing. It was a thing. We'll bring it back sooner or later. Everyone keeps asking.
Do it.
But I go out there and I say, so if I remember, there is a video out there. Little Shy took it of that HarmonyCon vlog. But I said something to the effect of like, you know, people have been asking me how excited I am for this convention. So I moved down. So here's the problem. Let me paint this out for you. I'm gonna map it out like a play, like John Madden. So I reach down, and usually you have like, if you have tearaway pants, which I have now, that's one quick motion. Nobody has time to react to your motions. One swift, whoop, you can't even do anything. When you're taking off a pair of jeans, it's a bit more of a suspenseful
complicated issue.
Right, it's you undo the belt, you undo the button, you undo the zipper, you move the pants down, and by that point, it looks like something very different.
This is the most awkward tease ever.
So I do it, I take them off, I almost trip on them. I hand stuff to some of the people on stage, and I'm like, yeah, and I get applause and everything, it's great, all that, everyone thinks it's funny. About 10 minutes after opening, I get to see some staff, and they're like, hey, nice pants, hey, that was really funny. I'm like, yeah, it was, thank you. And they're like, just know you were about 4 seconds away from getting full body tackled off that stage by security. And I'm like, yeah. And anytime staff from that convention comes to me or talks to me, they're like, oh yeah, you were the guy that did that. I'm like, yeah, I was. And they're like, let us know the next time you're going to do something like that. So now I have tearaway pants.
That's something you'll forever be known for now.
I was going to say, I'm surprised not more people bring it up to me. Thankfully, the Riff Pony stuff, whatever, that has overshadowed that. But every once in a while, usually at HarmonyCon, I will get someone who went, oh, you're the guy who took his pants off. And I'm like, thank you. That's a thing I want to be remembered for, sure.
Good job.
So the funny, excuse me, the funny thing about that is I wasn't really friends with Thoth back then. We just hadn't really talked.
Yeah, you say that. You don't want to be friends with that.
Shut up! You're sitting next to me right now.
I know.
So like, I wasn't really friends with him, but during that whole thing, I was backstage at HarmonyCon because that was whenever I do the voice of Harmonic Tune, one of the mascots here, and Brittany Ackerman, who does Harmony Star. That was back whenever we started doing like the cosplays ourselves. Like we were doing like I had like a Harmonic Tune cosplay, and she had her Harmony Star one, and she actually used this hat for it. We were backstage getting ready to focus on that. Like we were just kind of like looking at each other. Like, is the hat okay? Is my wig on okay? We're focused on that. We have no idea this is happening on stage. The only thing I hear is just this giant uproar of gasps from the crowd. I have no idea what's going on. I don't see that a man has just removed his pants on stage. I can't see it, but as we're talking, during those groans, I just go, so anyways, how's the wig? That is my experience with this. But yeah, I was stage left of you while you were doing that for yourself.
If I remember, one more note on that. I remember I met Luck Rock proper for the first time around that way. Shout out to Luck Rock, love him. Yes, thank you. And when we were back there, I did see him and talked with him like very briefly because I think he saw I was wearing a Starlight hat. He was too. A couple years later, I think it was late last year. He told me about the first time he ever met me, which was at that convention, the first time we spoke. And he basically said, yeah, I remember thinking you might be one of the most annoying people, thinking you might be the most annoying person ever.
Oh no.
He ended up clarifying, he's like, I'm glad I was really wrong, but you sounded pretty annoying at first. So, again, first impressions. But no, Luck Rock is wonderful. One of the best in the community, and I just worked on a guest of honor panel, 3 of them this weekend with him. So I must not be too annoying. to
As
him,
a
I
reminder,
guess.
I can confirm his wonderfulness. He checked on me when my dog died.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that was the story I told earlier.
Oh, you told that one.
Yes, about me laughing in the middle of a panel when someone mentions that my friend's dog died. He's talking about me.
Okay, so I've been saving this one for
Yes,
last.
go
so,
for it.
So Equestria LA 2017 was my very first pony convention, and that was also the weekend that Tara Strong appeared at that one. So I still am trying to get in the game of how to do pony conventions and whatnot, and what goes on around the scene, because it was my birthday and I wanted to get my exposure into the Brody fandom at the time still. So I was talking with somebody near the elevators, and I'm talking like, this is my first con and that I'm having a good time and whatnot, and then for some strange reason we start talking about Twilight and whatnot, and I casually then mentioned, before the elevator doors opened, I said, could you imagine if Twilight, I said, I don't know if she's really that good of a character, but at the time I was that really
You were that guy.
I was that guy at the time. So I was like, man, so who's your favorite pony? Like, well, at the time it was Rarity, before Starlight came into the picture. And then I said, well, I think Twilight's okay, but I think she could have done better. And just as I said that, the elevator doors open, and guess who is standing at the elevator entrance?
Who's
Tara
Tara?
Strong emerges and is like, what did you say, boy?
Nani?
And I was like, hi, Tara. We were just talking about you. And she's like, yeah, sure.
All good things.
There was it was BabsCon 2016. BabsCon 2016 when Lauren Faust was there as a guest.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Wait, are you about to tell the balloon story?
The,
Balloon story.
he's referring to Race Best and Saber
that wasn't
Spark.
me. That wasn't me.
He was referring to Race Best and Saber Spark that did
that
that.
video is great though.
Yes,
I
it is.
gave them the balloon.
Good.
Like I was the catalyst for that.
Doing Celestia's work over here. No, this was something else. I was running up to my room. We were in the elevator, and it is similar because Lauren Faust did hop into the elevator with this giant like bouquet of flowers or something, which I don't know what she had them for. I don't know what the purpose was, but like, I'm not. First off, I can't wait the 4+ hours in line to go talk to her and get her signature. So I'm pretty much already very much accepting this is probably the only time I'm ever gonna be in the same room as Lauren Faust. Make it count. So she stands next to me in the elevator. I'm looking at the flowers. I look at her and I just go, so is this the part where I'm supposed to tell you how big of a fan I am right now? Which did get a laugh out of her, and I am appreciative of that. And I left the elevator, just not like with a funny thing, just like a hey, just I'm sure you get this a lot, but thanks for making such a special show. So I wanted to at least end with that, but I was like, for one moment, I'm like, anyways, we have about 2 minutes left. Do either of you have a quick one you wanted to go ahead and finish this off with?
You got one, Taylor?
Just a really quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, this is kind of a sweet story.
Good. We need to end with that.
So Kelly Sheraton, when I attended Everfree Northwest in 2019, it was the last day of, it was actually HarmonyCon 2020 before the thing happened. And so I'm standing in line waiting to waiting to talk to Kelly. And while I was in line, there was someone in line in front of me, like maybe 4 people ahead of me, and he wanted a hug from her, and she said, I really only do air hugs, is that okay? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. It was coming to my turn, and all of a sudden she sees me and she jumps out of her chair and runs over to me and hugs me to no end. And so I was like, Kelly, I thought you only did air hugs. And she said, I only hug friends in this community. I only hug special friends in this fandom, and you're definitely one of my favorites.
So, okay, first off, that's incredibly wholesome, and I love it. And it's also.
I want to end it on a good
No,
note.
that's that's what I'm saying, is that is the perfect one to end on with the feel goods and everything. Thank you all for coming to this. I always love doing this panel. Next time, I really think I'm going to try and do like the whole projector setup, because like some of these, it's not like, hey, come check out